I think it's really shocking to see all the posters out there because here in Virginia we're pretty protected from hurricane disasters and it's hard for us to put ourselves in their situations, but seeing the posters out there and realizing all the devastation that happened from Hurricane Irma down in Florida is really upsetting.
Those signs were actually really powerful. I didn't realize that like only 18% of people in like that particular area that was hit by the hurricane only had flood insurance. It's really crazy to think like how we're not really prepared for stuff like that, and so when something happens, it really does require the effort of like the whole country to try and get together and help everyone that was impacted by it.
Overwhelmed, I think, is probably the one that comes to mind. Just like seeing all of the statistics, like of just other things, like something as simple as like a roller coaster paired with like Hurricane Irma, and like the contrast of that is really impactful and powerful and overwhelming to like realize.
I feel like JMU should be doing something to help the victims.
Honestly, I'm not really aware of any resources on campus, which is unfortunate that there's not a lot of awareness about that. I don't know that I would know what direction to go if I wanted to help or needed help.
I don't really know of any resources that are on campus to help with it.
I'm not really sure what other resources are available like after the storm. Hopefully like they're just being taken care of because there's really like nothing they could have done to stop it.
This is helpful because I don't really feel like I have a good grasp on what is available or like what I personally could do or what someone could do in that situation. So I feel like a lot of times I see things like emails or like Facebook posts and things, and I think that could be potentially helpful, but I also think that a lot of times, like, I know I go through and kind of delete and like click through emails.
I don't really know too many resources. Like, I mean, I've heard different things like through the emails, but again, I don't really look at the emails.
One way to get information effectively across to students would be having a fundraiser event sort of type thing, sort of like Relay for Life does, but an event that is fun that would draw students in, and then once they come in, able to relay information to them in that kind of capacity. So it's fun for the students, but then also informative.
So I think fundraisers are always a good idea. That's very difficult to kind of plan since that is sometimes an issue and planning wise. I think the Impact Day is awesome just because it gets the word out to so many people just by walking by. An event, any kind of event is really helpful in getting the word across. Potty mouth is a great idea. I think so many people see that, even you don't even think about it, but it's always there as you're using the bathroom. So that's always a good way to sort of get the word across and just really drawing people to sort of taking an action with this kind of thing. So yeah.
I think it would be helpful if teachers just took a little bit of time, even if it was just at the beginning or end of class when they give announcements, to try to bring awareness to things, because that is a setting that all students are in, and so that information would easily get across to everyone.
Effective ways to get the word out more to students is like social media presence, Commons Days, just kind of going and presenting to clubs and organizations, especially ones that may be able to have a larger impact on whether it's donation of blood, food, or clothing, anything like that.
I think honestly, like, just social media is like a good way to kind of get things across, because a lot of people pay attention to that. It's a really big platform, and then just like generally just like the news, TV.
I feel like seeing stuff on like Twitter and Instagram, you personally, if you feel affected by it, you can go and then advocate and like learn more about what's happening, and then try to like within your community raise money and then send that. Or like I know people have within like their churches or like schools, they donate or they like collect stuff and then they donate it, so you could do that personally. So instead of waiting for the change, you could like create it yourself.
Okay.
It really made me think about my own privilege. I've never experienced a hurricane. I have no idea what that's like, but I could only imagine being uprooted from my entire neighborhood, all of my friends, being separated from family members, not knowing if they're okay. I couldn't even begin to imagine the amount of devastation that they've gone through, and the amount of resilience that it takes to get through a situation like that. So that really made me think about my own privilege and my own situation.